blue zones are pretty awesome, right? When you look into that, and it's still one of those things where you're looking at epidemiology type of studies where you're looking at these groups, and that's one of the things why there's limitations with it, because it's not super specific. But when you look at it and you go, okay, well, these people are way healthier than everybody else, you got to make note of it, right? But I love what you said there, right? It's not just about diet and exercise, right? It's really about changing who you are and becoming a better version of yourself, and changing your behaviors and changing your lifestyle and becoming a healthy person. Right. And I think that that's one of the things that, in our country, we have a skewed version of what a healthy person is. And I hear it all the time. I'll hear people say this. I might have mentioned this before, oh, that person got cancer and they were so healthy. And it's like, well, no, that's not how this works. Right. And because they think that somebody that just has a good diet and exercises is a healthy person. Right? And it has so much more to do with how well you're sleeping and your stress levels and all of these things in your lifestyle that is going to determine your physiology, which also is going to determine how your nutrition and exercise play a role, right? So in your nutrition and your exercise, to me, are almost things that just reinforce the fact that you are trying to improve your standard, and they give you this daily kind of cleansing or hygiene, like I talked about before, to remember, oh yeah, I need to brush my teeth because I want to be a healthy person. Oh yeah, I need to exercise and sweat because I want to be a healthy person. I need to, focus on the things that I'm putting in my mouth. Every time I put something in my mouth, I'm reinforcing and voting, giving myself a vote and giving the world a vote for what I think that is okay and is the standard of where I'm at, when I put this thing in my mouth. It's the same thing like smoking, right? Every time that somebody puts a cigarette in their mouth, they're reinforcing their self-image as a smoker, right? And as an unhealthy person. You are delusional if you smoke cigarettes and say that you're a healthy person, right? So it's the same thing when you don't have a healthy lifestyle. It's a little bit different, because a lot of times people are ignorant to what actually, ignorant in the purest form of the word, right? They don't know what the standard for being healthy and being well is, right? And so we're going to get into this more, but this idea of wellness is really the pursuit of self-actualization, right? Which health is a part of that. Andrew, who's on here, actually, his dad used to say that health is from the neck down and wellness is from the neck up, right? But you don't separate the two, right? You don't separate the head from the body. They go together, right? So health and wellness are one in the same, which the reason why we're going to get into the psychological part of this first is because, especially with humans, we're one of the few organisms in the world, right, that self-sabotages and basically repetitively does unhealthy behaviors when we have an alternative where we could be as healthy as possible. Right? We in this day and age, we have all of the resources and everything that we need to be as healthy as possible, outside of all of the stress and all of these things that our culture has told us that we need to behave like and think like, and these mindsets that we have, right? Outside of that, the environment gives you all the opportunities to be healthy, but at the same time, it gives you all the opportunities to be sick and unwell as well. If you look at it, in most urban areas, there's a liquor store and a McDonald's on every other corner, right? So that is a big problem that we have when it comes to this. And it's easy, I think, sometimes for us fitness people to kind of talk down in that way as well, to say, well, everybody should be able to do this, because it's not that easy when you come from an environment. And even in the United States in general, our environment and our culture promotes sickness. And to say that we don't is ridiculous. If you look at those numbers and those statistics where 42% of people in the United States are obese, we are sick. Right? And we have a sickness culture, right? And people aren't really correlating the two, primarily because our healthcare system goes, oh, let's put a little Band-Aid on that. We'll take care of those symptoms for you. Don't worry about that. We'll give you this pill. We don't want you to have that upset stomach. We don't want you to have that diarrhea. It doesn't have anything to do with your behavior. The reason why you don't have energy, hey, you know what? Drink more caffeine. Take these pills. You'll feel better. Take these antidepressants, which at the same time sometimes is necessary, like we talked about before. Where if you're going to basically do some type of therapy, it helps to have some type of medical intervention, or vice versa. If the medical side is intervening with, drugs and injections and and surgeries, there should be a complementary therapy that always goes with that. But unfortunately, we don't provide those, for people, routinely. So they're left in this situation with, a poor culture, a poor healthcare system that doesn't really support their wellness or their health, and it's obviously showing. So that was a great question or comment, Chrissy. The blue zones, check those out.